I said. See, our skull also has many joints. See, this blue line here is the joint. So there are two bones here which is attached with the line. This is the joint. So why this joint is necessary? To keep the to keep the brain in place. If this is not necessary, if this is not available, then it will be unstable. Our skull would have been unstable. Similarly, you might have noticed that only the lower part of our jaw is movable, not the upper part of the jaw. Why is that so? Even though I said bones are very rigid, it cannot be moved, or we cannot move the bones. Only the joints will help in the movement. So there is no joint this side, right? So why the lower jaw is though connect to the skull, but why the this portion is movable? Do you know? Do you have any idea? Okay. Uh, I think you can type in the chat window. We'll discuss about this later. So next is the slightly movable joints, like our backbone. We can do slight movements with this. If you do, I mean, we can bend or bend forward, bend backward, but we can't do many actions with this joint because they're slightly movable. And the type of the joint, the structure and the construction what it is there is completely different, whereas movable joints are nothing but our hands, legs, etc. So what are these movable joints? So for example, this the joint that we have near the neck, that is called as pivot joint. So see this animation, you can see we can only turn our neck to left side or the right side, up and down, and have some rotation action. We can't turn our neck completely 360-degree, correct? So this pivot joint, it it's like a screw kind of stuff. So you have this am I you have this uh, box, powder box or all. There you can only twist and then open, right? So this is the screw kind of stuff. So pivot joint is like screw kind. So it is near the neck portion. And next is the ball socket joint, which we will be detailedly explain. um, Vishal?
Divya, you are not. I think the previous one that you showed, it wasn't visible. Can you show the pivot joint again? You have a model with you.
But yeah, am I not there here? There too.
You are there. It says that the
I have
camera
to
is not
stop sharing the
detected.
screen.
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is the Pond's powder bottle. See, this screw is there, no? So if we have to open this, so we have to rotate it like this in one angle and like this and like this. That's all we can do, right? So similarly, we have to do with the neck. See, we can do like this. It's not complete 360 rotation we are doing, and we can do like this. Okay, so this much only rotation we can do with our neck joint. Similarly, the hinge I was talking about, the
Should I be showing the ball socket joint now?
I'll finish this hinge. See,
Sure.
the door we can see. Door has this hinges, right? So these are the hinge joint. This hinge will allow us to do this type of motion. Similarly, we have in our hand. We can put it, do like this, like that. Correct? So hinge joint is similar to that. Yeah, Vishal, you can show the ball socket.
Yeah, just note that unlike unlike the box which Divya was showing, the hand cannot move any further unless of course there is some. So your screen continues to show Divya, unless of course you have some kind of stunt happening. This luckily it does not move any further. So while this hinge kind of movement happens in the dabba which Divya was showing, it was able to go beyond this. That cannot happen with the elbow. The same way, the shoulder joint. This is a simple model of the shoulder joint. So as you can see, this is able to do the entire. So while you can do this movement with the arm, but you can also move it in this direction, and that's what the shoulder joint allows. And that's a very special kind of design which Divya will be talking about. As you can see, it's this ball inside, and that's in the actual shoulder you'll have a cup kind of thing. So here I have a bigger ball so that the small ball doesn't come out, but in the actual shoulder you'll have a cup kind of thing, and inside the cup there is a ball like this, and that will give you the movement. And which is why while I can do in this line, I can also do this way, and I can also do like this, and that's the speciality of the shoulder joint. Yeah, Divya.
Okay. Next is the gliding movement. I was talking about this backbone, right? So backbone we can only move little. So here the gliding movement is there, no? So it can only move front and back little bit like this. So this is gliding movement or planar movement. Hinge I was talking about the dabba, and then is the wrist. Wrist has this condylar movement. Here it is like two concave convex combination. There is a movement front and back like this, like this. So we will talk in detail about this, and also the saddle joint. Saddle is a joint which has a fixed curve shape structure and a pin inside. Next. So
I
what
want
are
to
the
draw
max?
your attention to the fact that there are these different types of joints that Divya is showing. So if you consider the neck, elbow, shoulder, or in the wrist, the design of all of these joints is different. And because by design, so when I say design, the way they are joined, the bones, it could be two bones, but the way they are joined. So as you can see, the hinge joint, the type of design itself is different from the other one, which is called as the condylar joint. And hence, because of that, the type of movements which are possible, they all are different. Sorry, Divya, to jump in. Please continue.
Okay. Okay. Here you can see the animations also, see the different types of joints and the way they are rotating, the way they are making the moves. The range of motion you can see here. Saddle joint is going up and down. Okay. Whereas the condylar, it's going almost like crushing kind of ball and socket crushing plus complete rotation it is showing. Pivot joint is like screwing up. Hinge joint is going left and right like that. Okay. So next is the range of motion. What is the maximum range of motion we can have? So there are three types of motions here: angular motion, rotational, and special movements. See, angular movements are nothing but our regular movements where we stretch our hand forward, where we stretch our hand backward and sideways, or our neck will turn left and right, move up and down. Those things are not angular movements. Why it is called angular? Because there is certain angle which we can move. See, this is what we are understanding with the help of goniometer as well. See how much I can lift my neck is what we are understanding using the goniometer. We'll keep the goniometer here and we'll check what is the angle I can lift my neck. What is the angle I can put my neck down. So these are angular movements. This happens in degrees actually. So next is the rotational movement. Rotational movement is nothing but as Vishal was talking, it's a ball socket joint where you are rotating your arm, right? So there is a complete 360-degree rotation that happens. So special movements are such I can like twisting in the sense when you want to put your palm down. See, there is a twisting that is happening like this, correct? So am I visible? Like if I put like this,
No, you'll have to stop sharing the screen so that you are clearly visible.
I stop sharing the screen. Huh. See, this moment, my scene, I can't make out here. So this movement is there. See, if I have to turn and put my palm down, there is a special movement happening. I have to rotate my elbow. These are all special movement. If
Divya,
I have to
can
twist
you
my
can
scissor,
you change
huh?
the angle of your camera? Only your face, only this much is visible right now. Just change it so that it points downwards so that your arm is visible. You'll have to, yes, much better.
It's visible now. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can go a
So
little back if
this,
it's
if I
possible.
have to turn and if I have to put my palm down, so if I have to put my palm down, so there is a special movement that I have to do. So these are all not regular movements. These are special movements because there are combination of joints here. See, if I have to rotate my wrist also, so the special kind of movements that is happening. So there are 2 or 3 joints that is involved. So we will talk about these things in detail now. Okay. So next is so these are the special types of movements. Angular movement where we do it in angles, rotational movements and special movements. Special movements also include we have to touch our thumb to little finger. It's a special movement. There is a opposition happening. You can't do it ulta. You can't touch your thumb. You can face your palm like this and you can touch your little finger, but you can't do it ulta. So this is the special type of movement we can do. This is not even possible in our legs, right? It is only possible in our hand. So these are the movements I was talking. So if we have to move our hand front, we have to move our leg back. These are all normal, regular angular movements. These are all regular movements where we have to twist our wrist, or where we have to twist our this thumb and all those things. Those are special movements. So these movements, what it will these joints will provide us the movement, the wherever we are getting the good maximum movement, that is called as good flexibility. And flexibility is always expressed in degrees. So always in our goniometer also we are how flexible we are, we can check with the goniometer. So when you are checking the angle, like if you want to put your neck down, there is an angle, certain angle you are putting your neck down. So that angle can be measured and you can say how flexible I am. If I can't raise my neck above certain degrees, that means this is my flexibility. Some can lift till here, but I can only lift till here. So this is my level flexibility. So these can be measured using goniometer. Next is the neck. So you might have seen in the observation sheet as well. So it allows where you have to do the neck, you have to check the angle in the neck. So as I said earlier, neck joint is also called as pivot joint, and it allows the rotational movement, but to a little extent, right? So you, with the neck, you can move sideways, both the sides, up and down, and you can rotate a bit like this. See here, this person is rotating a bit, and this is the left right angle, and this is front and back. So if you keep your goniometer here and measure, you will get to know what is the degree of flexibility we are having. So in this uh, um, animation also, we can see there is a little bit rotational movement that is happening with the neck, correct? So with our goniometer sideways, we can move sideways. I mean this left and right movement, keeping the shoulder broad left and right movement. So there we are getting 45 degrees, whereas if we stretch upward, we can stretch up to 60 degrees. If we put our neck downwards, we can do that till 50 degrees, and whereas rotational movement we can do up to 80 degrees. So this is the maximum flexibility offered at a plane. So this is important to know, because in some cases it happens that some like in animals, for example, some animals like birds and all can have 360-degree flexibility. So in that case the rotation will be 360 degree. At a point, uh, a bird neck can see throughout, correct? So that is 360-degree rotation, but we don't have that much flexibility. Our flexibility is still 80 degrees. So if we are getting more than that, there may be some injury in the neck or something, or there may be some issue with our structure or something, so we may have to go to doctor or something. Okay, so next is
Divya, just 1 second. Sorry to pause. I see that
uh,
3 people have raised.
okay.
There are 3 people who have raised hand. Uh,
Okay.
can you please? So I request you to type your questions on the chat window. So I see that Ayush, Shilpa, and Tahira uh, have, and also Ananya. Uh, can you type your questions on the chat window? If it is necessary, we will unmute you and we can discuss. Otherwise, the system we are following is Divya will make a presentation and at the end we will have a Q&A. Okay, I'm hoping that this works. So please type your questions on the chat window. Continue, Divya.
Okay. Uh, Next is the shoulder joint or ball socket joint. Why it is called ball socket? See, there is a ball kind of, not exactly the ball, but ball kind of structure which is attached to the bone here. That's a, it's one is structure is like circular, another one is concave kind. So this will give us the complete rotation, 360-degree rotation, and also front and back rotation. So maximum shoulder joint will give us the maximum range of rotation, and we can rotate sideways, we can lift up, we can bend back. So many rotations we can make. In front we can stretch up to 180 degrees. Okay, so this is the maximum rotation, and stretching we can do. See, in this animation as well, they have mentioned how this can be rotated, how the bone can be rotated with this joint. So it is also comparable to Japanese porcelain. See, we have this pestle and mortar. The mortar will go like this. So similarly, the shoulder joint works. So next is the elbow joint. Elbow joint has it allows only bending and straightening movement. Okay, you otherwise you can do the singing movement as well. So here, as I said, we can do this special movements as well, where we can bend our palm like this and all. So here there is a pivot joint attached. So there is, which will allow the uh, bone to resupinate. It can we can fold it like this, and then the rotation can be possible. So this is a best example for hinge joint. So what maximum rotation we can do is stretch forward and left and right like this. Swinging movements we can do. Next is the wrist one.
So just to
In wrist
clarify,
we can.
elbow, yeah, because Divya, your video seems to be freezing in between. Elbow
Okay.
joint, there are 2 joints there. One is the hinge joint, the dabba example which Divya gave in the beginning, and at the same place there is another joint which is similar to the uh, type of joint you have in the neck, what is called as the pivot joint, and that's the one which allows this twisting. So the left upper corner in Divya's slide, there is one interesting animation which is showing uh, the one bone coming and sitting on the other bone. So the actual arm after the elbow joint till the wrist joint has 2 bones. So when you rotate, which is similar to when you, let's say you are turning the ball, you are doing a leg spin kind of thing. So then you are turning, you are twisting your arm, and what's happening then is one bone, which is after the elbow part, that goes and sits on the other bone. So there are two bones and also two joints in the elbow joint. That makes the elbow joint a special one. Yes, Divya, continue.
Next is, one second. Next is the wrist joint. See, wrist will allow only up and down movement and also slide like this. Okay, angular movement. We can only move it to sideways or up and down. Sometimes twisting is there, but twisting is due to, as Vishal was explaining, it is due to one arm into another arm, and there is a joint, another joint here. So side to side and left side or right side twisting is there in the wrist joint. So it is also a pivot joint. And next is the hinge joint or knee joint. See, for knee joint, the best example is our laptop. If you see, it can be, it has actually the, this is the biggest joint we can say. It has two joints, one above, one below, and center there is one more joint. Okay, this will allow it to be very strong, and also it helps in the you know walking or all such movements, for lateral movements and all. So here in this case, if you can keep the goniometer at the knee point, you can measure how much angle you can lift your leg, lift your knee, and how much you can bend left side to right side. And this animation will show the maximum, the bending or the flexibility of the knee. So next, what are the major factors that is affecting this flexibility? Maybe our age. As we age, we tend to lose our flexibility. See, also in the case when baby was born, newborn baby, it has all the flexibility, and its skull or its body will be so light, or it will not be rigid. As soon as it grows, the body becomes very rigid, and the joints joints will be less. Okay, when the child will be born, it has 213 or 240 range bones, but when we grow up, there will be fusion of certain joints happen, and only we have 206 bones in our body. So these are the age related stuff or disease. We might be having some arthritis or some physical injury in our body that will affect our flexibility. Like in case of some people might undergo an accident and lose the kneecap. They'll say kneecap, right? So in that case, the person cannot bend his leg. He cannot walk, because that is what is holding the two bones together in the knee portion. So, and also joint shape. Some people by birth, some may have extra bone, which will not allow them to have flexibility. In the leg, usually it happens, there will be extra joint or extra bone will be there, that will not allow them to stretch their legs too forward. That may be due to structural defect. And also, if the people are very fat, obese, over obese, and those kind, they cannot bend or they cannot have the maximum flexibility in their body. These are the things which affects the flexibility and also the range of motion. The degree which I showed, or we can keep our hand straight and this will come to 50-degree, 30-degree, that will not be happening to them. So that is a direct indication that they have some medical issues, and they need to consult the doctor. So our goniometer, if we can check the angle as well, and we can it will also help us to study, are we regularly exercising, are we prone to any diseases. Those also indirectly it is helping us. And also a major application nowadays, in goniometer also have become a smartphone tool. See, we can install a goniometer app in our mobile and we can check how flexible we are. And also in medical cases, when we have bone fracture, or when we have some fractures of kind, they'll treat us using the goniometer. They'll check the flexibility, how much, where actually the angle is gone and all. So they'll treat like that. And physiotherapy, there may be due to long term diseases and all, we might lose our body flexibility. In that case, physiotherapy will help us to retain, I mean, get back our flexibility. Those physiotherapists also use goniometer to check the angles. Not only this, apart from medical use, there are also many other from goniometer. It can also work as a compass, and it can, as we posted in the WhatsApp, it can be also used as a communicating signal in audio signals as well. And in research, it is used as a X-ray crystallography used in X-ray crystallography studies. What is this X-ray crystallography study? It is nothing but when we have to elucidate, or when we have to define a structure of a crystal. Say for example, sodium chloride. In that case, we don't know what is the structure of sodium chloride, where the atoms are, where the molecules are. In that case, they will screen the crystal, and they align the angle using the goniometer. So that's all. If you have any questions.
There are a few questions on the chat window, Divya. Shall we take them now?
Or shall we do this poll question?
Uh, yes, we can do the quiz. Just 1 minute. I think some, because we don't want to lose these questions. Anshuman and I think Karthik has also asked why the goniometer can measure stomach. I'm not sure I understood your question, Anshuman. You are asking, can it measure the stomach, or you are asking how it can measure stomach? Yeah, can goniometer measure stomach? Okay, Divya, you want to answer that? In the meantime, I'll dig out Karthik's question. He has also asked a question.
Like it can measure the joints. Which joint there? I don't understand. Uh, like there should be a
Yeah,
stationary point. Like joint is nothing but two bones here, like this. There's a point there. You're going to fix that angle. You're going to fix the goniometer. One arm you will move. One arm you will keep it stationary and measure the degree. But how do you do with stomach? I don't know. We have to take the skeletal out and do.
it's an interesting question, Anshuman. But what Divya is clarifying is it's normally used to measure joints. So when it comes to stomach, it's not joining any two bones. So obviously you can measure the angle at which it is. So let's say you take the stomach in, that is you exhale the air out, that's one limit, and then inhale and see what's the maximum limit to which it's getting stretched and measure that angle. It's a very interesting question that you are raising, but that's not what it is normally used for. Karthik, that's a good that you are clarifying this. Most often, Karthik, what happens is people make the mistake of using the goniometer incorrectly. So let me see if I can show this to you. So this is also 180 degree, and it may appear that my elbow joint's flexibility is 180 degree, but that's not the elbow joint's flexibility. I have not even moved across the joint. So this is, let's say, my starting position. If this is my starting position, this is one bone, this is second bone. So I'm keeping one bone fixed and I'm moving the second bone. What I'm trying to measure is, when one bone is kept fixed, how much can the second bone move? So this bone has moved this much angle, this much angle. It's not the final angle which I'm measuring. So after opening the elbow, I'm not measuring this angle. I'm measuring from the starting position, how much am I able to move it? So I've moved this much angle. Same goes with the knee joint. So knee joint, of course, when you'll open, you'll get 180°, but that's your starting position. So you'll move one, so the thigh bone and the bone below. So those are the two bones. So from the stationary position, when you move one bone, how much is the maximum degree that it can move? That cannot cross 150°. That's what Divya meant when she said that's the range.
So measuring
Divya,
goniometer, Sana is asking measuring goniometer measures joint, but it will also measure wrist joint and or joints there in fingers. Yeah, there is a special instrument, I mean goniometer only in other type, where it can measure the fingers as well. So see finger, we can see it has only max to max, it has only 120° it can go. So this goniometer can also use to measure the fingers, and there is a bend here, no, we can make the bend in the finger, that can also be measured using goniometer. Can we take the polls and then come back to questions?
yeah, we can do that. Just checking if there is any other important question which got missed out. Okay, let's do a quick quiz as Divya is saying. That will not take more than 10-15 minutes. Then we can also come back. We can continue to discuss.
There are special type of goniometer.
So, sorry, shall I launch the poll, Divya?
Yeah.
So we had done this quiz system last week also, but there are many new members who have joined this group, and hence what Divya has done is she has kept one sample question, which is a very trivial question, so that you get used to how to use the quiz, how to use the polling system. So I'm launching this first sample question, and you will see 4 options for the question. You select one option. You'll be able to select only one. Very nice. I'll wait for another 10 seconds. 30 responses have come so far from 47. Okay, last 5. Okay, as you can see, this is how it will work. So one question will get displayed, you give an answer, and we will share the results with you. Divya will also talk about the answer. Here, obviously, I don't know who said seed dispersal model, but the activity that we are discussing is goniometer. We are not discussing seed dispersal today. Okay, but I hope you are able to see the statistics. So 98% gave the answer as goniometer. So 34 people said that, and 1 person has said seed dispersal, which is not the case. So now we'll start the actual quiz, and I'm launching the question now. Okay. Last 5 seconds. Excellent. So 36 people have answered, only 36, but all 36 say to measure the flexibility of joints. So here all the people who have responded got the answer right. We'll go to the next question now. Okay, last 3 seconds. Divya,
Huh.
can you see the results?
No, I'm not able to see actually. Polls only I'm not able to see.
Okay. Can someone else give a response? I've been sharing the results. Are others able to see the results? Yeah.
New message.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Before I miss out, just registering in your mind because lots of chat messages have come. Avi has asked why goniometer has 180-degree. Even I don't. I want to know. Yeah, we'll cover that question. Divya, can you see the results now?
I can't see. I can't see the poll also.
That's okay. Then I'll read it out. No poll. Yeah, I'll read it out for you, Divya. So basically, out of so total we have 37 people who responded. Uh,
Okay.
8 people have said it is the role functions of joint is to provide flexibility to body. 10 have said to connect two bones, and 19 have said all the above. So no one explicitly said to provide stability to body. Maybe that's a part which may be little confusing, that if there is movement happening across joint, how does a joint play a role in providing stability to body?
Well, moving the stability is required. Otherwise, movement will not be possible. We have to fix it. When we are walking, we have to be stable also. So the stability is also required there. I mean, the strength when we are walking, our whole body weight will be on that full part. That stability, that is what is required.
And it's because of the flexibility that you get stability. So imagine I'm standing and someone tilts me a little. If there was no flexibility, I would just straight away go and fall, right? Which can happen, let's say, when you are playing with dolls, or if you have a robot which has a very fixed movement, then you give a little push and there is no adjustment which the doll or the robot can make. Whereas we are able to make that adjustment. There is immediately we move a little bit and we don't realize it happens so subconsciously if we don't pay attention. But it's because of the flexibility that our body gets stability. So the correct answer is all of the above. It is stability, it is flexibility, and of course it joins two bones. Okay, here comes the third question. Are you able to see the poll now, Divya?
No,
Okay.
no, it's not coming.
That's okay.
It is showing. Oh, poll only is not here.
Okay, friends, last 5 seconds.
Logged in from another device. Your polling session.
It's okay, Divya. I'll keep reading. Okay, so the question was, choose a joint from the following that do not allow any movement. Shoulder joint. So 2 people have said shoulder joint, 1 has said knee joint, and 34 have said skull joint. And luckily 0 people said wrist joint. So of course skull joint is the correct answer. What is a very interesting question here is, if skull joint has 0 movement, why do you have a joint there at all? We would have been fine if it was a single bone then, right? Why did we have a joint there? And I'm pausing before I respond to that, just to see, to give you some time to think. Sorry, Divya, I cut you. What were you saying?
Some people are not able to see the questions. Question are not visible there in the chat.
Oh, okay. Hmm. I'm not sure what's happening because 37 people are responding consistently, but clearly it's exactly 37 every time, which means the remaining 10, 11 people are not able to see.
Maybe they have to share video. They have to on or something.
Binjal is saying question was not visible. No, it's not necessary for them to switch on the video. Not sure. I'll keep reading the question for you going forward so that at least you can participate. Thanks for bringing it up, Vijay. Yes, so Lakshmi is responding to my question as the reason you have joined there is to protect the brain. But Lakshmi, my question is, then you should rather not have had any joint there. It should have been a single piece, right? A single bone would have sufficed. The very fact that there is a joint there means that there should be some movement possible. But there's no movement which is allowed, then why do you have a joint there? And the reason is uh, when we are born, we have a joint there. And over a period of time, it fuses and becomes like a single bone, and the movement is not allowed. But when we are born, there is a good flexibility there, which allows the child as well as mother to not get injured, because usually when the birth happens, the child comes with the head first, and then it can hurt the mother as well as the child. When the child is just born, the head is quite flexible, and some of you, if you have seen newborn babies, some of them are born with a coconut kind of shape of the head. When I had seen it first time, I was very scared that is there something abnormal with this child. But any experienced grandmother will tell you, oh, nothing to worry about. That's just the child's head is very soft at this stage. We'll keep beating it a little, and after some time, it will get a nice round shape. But all that's happening is the bones get fused. But at the time of birth, it is flexible, and for a good reason, it is flexible. So that's the reason you have a joint here, which doesn't remain a joint anymore as we grow up. Okay, here comes the fourth question. So I'll read out the question for the people who are not able to see. Which is the joint that allows maximum movement? And your options are knee joint, elbow joint, neck joint, and shoulder joint. Last 5 seconds. Okay, I'm sharing the results on the screen. So I'll read it out for you, Divya. 4 people have said knee joint, 3 have said elbow, 6 have said neck, and 23 have said shoulder. Maybe you give a quick explanation from your side.
Which has maximum movement, that is the shoulder joint, because we can we can stretch it, we can bend, we can also do the rotational movement, whereas in other cases it is not possible. And also the joint here is ball socket. See, that Japanese porcelain we said, the cup and it is rotating like this, so it can give maximum movement, the shoulder joint.
Okay, we'll go to the next question then. There are 3 more. Here comes the 5th question. The people who are not able to see the question, which is the joint that can provide twisting movement? Your options are elbow,
Twisting movement.
finger, ankle, and backbone.
Twisting here, we mean, see, we are keeping like this, palm up. We have to do palm down. There's a twisting happening. So this, they'll get confused. What is twisting?
Okay, last 5 seconds. So, Divya, 10 people have said elbow joint, 6 have said finger, 14 have said ankle, and backbone 7 people. So, you may have to explain.
Twisting this one here. It's a elbow joint. Can provide the twisting.
Yeah, so the
There's a
basically
combination of
imagine
joints.
you have a piece of cloth. Imagine you have a piece of cloth. Let's say you want to remove water from the cloth, then you'll twist it. So that kind of twisting movement you cannot do with anything else. Whereas with the uh, part in the arm after the elbow joint, you can do this. This is where the twisting is happening. So if you notice this part, there is one bone here, one bone here, and as you do the twisting, there is an X kind of thing that you are forming. So this bone goes and sits on the other bone, as the animation which Divya had shown. So maybe the term twisting is confusing for some of you, but that's what Divya meant when she asked this question.
So
Okay,
spine
here
joint is
comes
not
the.
twisting. It is very rigid. We can't twist it. We can only do the slight, like what to say, sliding movement can be done in spine, not the twisting movement. Yoga, you will do twisting, but not spine. You will not twist, right? How do we twist spine?
I think Avi, what could be confusing is with the back you are able to do all kind of movement, but at the joint there is no twisting happening, where the bones are kind of folding on each other. Yes, the answer is elbow joint.
Bending can be bending can be done, but we are talking about the joints, right? How are you twisting it?
Okay, so this is interesting, Divya. Neeti is asking fingers also you can twist, right? And I think it is this kind of thing, right? So you can do. So can't this be called as twisting?
This these things I show, these are opposition movements, these are special movements, not the twisting movements. The actual term is supination here, protonation and supination. There's also like twisting movements. This we can do only because of this joint, and we can't do it ulta, no. Can only do like this, not twisting.
So yeah, if maybe as this happened because Divya tried to simplify it and replace the proper term by a simple to understand one, that could be creating a confusion. I'm launching the sixth question here.
Read out the question.
Yeah, the question is which of the following offers similar movement to neck joint? And the options are shoulder, knee, hip, and wrist.
This is correct.
Okay. So Divya, I'll read out the results. 8 people have said shoulder joint, 5 have said knee joint, 9 have said hip joint, and 15 have said wrist joint.
Wrist joint, because both are pivot joint. We can do some kind of rotation, left and right, up and down, and some twisting.
Yes.
The wrist also
And
say left, up, down, kind of angular. Same here. Like that.
okay, here comes the last question. The question is, which of the following offers similar movement to knee joint? And the options are backbone, elbow, finger joint, and shoulder joint. Last 5 seconds. Okay, I'm sharing the results. So Divya, 4 people have said backbone joint, 23 have said elbow, and 5 have said finger, and 6 have said shoulder.
It's elbow joint. Both are hinge joint. This opening.
Yeah.
Both are hinge joint.
Okay, so with that, we come to an end to what we were planning to present. Questions. So let's see which are the other questions which we missed out. Uh, so are we not sure I understood your question? You are asking why goniometer has 180 degree. Even I want to know.
There are different goniometers for different. Some have 360 degrees, some have 120 degrees like that. So for fingers and all, we use 120 degrees. This is like it has 180 degrees. You can even take 360 degree, but it will be so confusing for us to measure the degrees. Which one top, which one bottom, like that.
Okay. Okay. Mhm. What are the other questions we have missed out?
There is something called baseline goniometer. It has only 90 degrees, 90 to 100 degrees.
Hmm.
Reference point, not exactly. We'll have like range 130 to 150. Maximum is 150 degree like that. So reference point will the maximum degree given 150 degrees or like that. It will be given. There will be no reference degree.
Somebody has asked what is Japanese.
That pestle and motor in see, we will say Kutani in Kannada. I don't know what they'll say in English. We will use to crush the cardamom and all those things. If you have to make some sweets and all, we'll crush sugar and all. with cardamom, that is most in Japanese perfume. In other terms, it is pestle and mortar. There is a
Yeah,
cup
yeah,
and mortar.
yeah. Ananya has also written. Yes, so Nidhi and Vihan, you are asking, is the class over? Yes, from our side, what we wanted to present, we are done. If there are questions, then we can, me and Divya are here. But those who have to leave, it's okay for you to drop out. And in that case, we will be meeting you next week with the next activity, which is
On camera.
pinhole camera. It's an important instruction with the pinhole camera. Please take nice thick paper and also take black colored paper to get the best results. If you do not have a black colored cardboard, so cardboard, the ideal cardboard is not the corrugated sheets which are used for packing like the Amazon boxes. The ideal one is like the thicker than paper but thinner than the corrugated sheets, like the Kellogg's boxes, the cornflakes boxes, or the Bonvita or the tea packet boxes. Those boxes are, that paper is ideal. But if you do not have black colored paper, please paint it, leave it for dry, and then make the pinhole camera from
Which
that.
joint is Japanese porcelain is ball socket. Where is goniometer used? In medical field it is used, and also in other fields. Apart from medical, it is communication and research also.
So if any person who has gone through any injury or going through a disease related to the joints, the only way to track improvement or deterioration is to continue to take this data, that what's the flexibility. Let's say some people have this frozen shoulder issue. In fact, I'm also developing that. So there is a certain direction in which movement gets restricted. I've started measuring, so my left shoulders, this movement, that is more than the right shoulder because there is little pain that I've started getting here. So the only way to track it and see if there is any improvement because of exercises or medicine is to keep measuring this angle. So that's the application, that's where it gets used. So the physiotherapists and the orthopedicians, they use it quite often.
If you don't have black paper, you can paint, I guess, or you can use any dark color paper for that matter for pinhole camera.
Thank
I
you,
think
Nidhi. Thank
you
you
can
for
paint if you.
expressing. Yeah.
Thank you. Shoulder with goniometer.
Oh, someone, I'm not able to make out who this is. You have renamed yourself as ThinkTac, which is nice to see. It would be good if we knew who this is. So the question is, the reference degree for different joints is different for different age groups. Uh, I suppose you mean the maximum flexibility that you can get from the joint. While the flexibility can be different depending on the age group, usually the younger children, they have more flexibility, but it's not guaranteed. And also, it's not the reference degree, but the maximum that you can bend. But on the other hand, the numbers which Divya shared, for those joints, even with the most flexible person, that's the maximum because those limits are coming from the way those joints are designed. There is no way we can get a kind of movement which, let's say, the owl gets on the neck. The owl is able to see all the way behind, but our neck is not designed for that. Our neck joint is different by design.
Can you please show how we can measure shoulder with goniometer? Okay. So,
Let me see if I can show this. You have? Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I need someone to hear. So, see, thing, this is the 0 point. I'm keeping these two together here. Okay. And then this is the movable arm. So I'm going to lift this, and this will be the Actually, I have to do it from back side, then it will be very clear. Or we can use this side also angle. This is the angle.
Just 1 minute. I'll give it a try.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because here no one is also there.
So this is, let's say I'm measuring this flexibility. So then at the starting the position, both the arms are like this, and as I move, one stays stationary, and with my arm this has to move. So this is the maximum. So let's say I'm able to take it till here. So then my goniometer goes till here, and I look at this angle. But that is this movement's flexibility. On the other hand, there is, let's say I want to measure my flexibility in this direction, or I want to measure flexibility this way. So this is also shoulder movement. So this way, some people will be able to move a lot more. And here I have to measure from the top, because that's the way this is moving, and it has to align here. So with my right shoulder I'm only able to get this much movement. I'm not able to move it beyond this, whereas on the left shoulder I'm able to take all the way till behind. So depending on which movement you are measuring, the usage will be different. But wherever you are using, the key is there will be two bones. So one will stay stationary, the other one which you are moving, that has to be moved. So when you are keeping it initial position, it should be pointing to 0, and this one which moves, that should move with the bone which you are moving, and one bone stays fixed, one bone stays stationary. I hope I answered your question. Thank you, Sana. Thank you, Smita. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I forgot who had asked the question. Yes, I think Anshuman had asked. Anshuman, I hope your question got answered. Okay. Okay then. If there are no more questions, we can end the call here. Have fun making the pinhole camera, and we will be meeting you next Monday.
Okay. Thank
Keep
you all.
sharing the photos on the WhatsApp group. Yes, yes, Divya, you were saying something?
No, I was telling them thank you.
Okay. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye. Bye everyone.
Thank you, Karthik.